Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Soggy Biscuit podcast, where we talk about Limp Bizkit for number one Limp Bizkit fans, for you, for me. I am, of course, the Chocolate Starfish, here as always with the hot dog flavored water, and we're going to spend probably an hour talking about all of the Limp Bizkit albums in order.
There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I honestly have only listened to like one of one of their albums.
The chocolate starfish, hot dog flavored water?
Yeah.
Is that the only one?
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's the only one I've listened to.
I think that's the only one everybody's listened to. I'm gonna look it up. How many albums do they have?
I had it pulled up. They actually just released another studio album this last year.
Oh yeah, I see. It still sucks.
That is news to me. I'm in shock.
Is that like a meta take on how
retired.
People think Limp Bizkit suck? I mean, I don't know. They've been doing a lot.
It's probably okay. Like, I enjoyed what I listened to of them, but whatever. So they have a new album out. Go buy it if you're a fan.
Yeah, if you like Limp Bizkit, they're still doing stuff. It's kind of like Real Big Fish. Like, they're still doing stuff, and it's like, man, those guys are
they? Are they?
Like,
Wow.
ska. Wow.
Man, I love some ska, dude.
Oh yeah,
Real Big Fish. I'm a fan.
No, ska's great.
Yeah, it gets a bad rap because, maybe it's kind of cringy.
Because ska is like the feeling you get when you're 13 years old and you order some mozzarella sticks.
Yeah.
That's what the feeling, that's the feeling that ska gives you.
And you wear your checkered Vans with your fedora hat.
Nice little chain wallet, but there's no money in it.
There's... But god damn it if the music doesn't feel good to listen to.
Yeah, it's real happy.
I'll tell you that.
It's all nice. They can make a sad song a sad song sound happy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
it's just the sound of like trumpets and horns, I think, are
and it's like usually really fast paced. I mean, they talk real fast, they sing real fast, I should say. There's always a hook, there's always the chorus is always really catchy, or should be really catchy.
Mm-hmm. It's usually it is upbeat, kind of fast paced. I've noticed that about my own music listening, because we haven't talked about music at all on the podcast.
Never. This is a first. This is a scumbag first, folks.
Indeed.
Music.
Yeah.
We aren't just video games and anime.
What, contrary to popular belief. But yeah, my own music tastes, like, I have to, there's this weird, that feeling of like a bass drum where it like physically hits your like lungs and or chest area.
Yes.
I feel that like all the time, so I think I have some kind of weird blood pressure thing, because like I
got like tachycardia or something that you think is you're just vibing, like your soul's just vibing constantly, but really it's tachycardia.
Yeah, like I think that I'm just listening to music that's fast paced and fun and upbeat because it fills a void in my life, but really it's just masking my horrible tachycardia. Is that
tachycardia? It's like a regular heartbeat.
Just straight up arrhythmia.
Yes.
Yeah. I do enjoy that fast beat, like, that's what bugs me the most about like sad songs and about country music in general. I hate to be that guy that like hates on country. Like, I know there's merits to it. It's just slow songs in general that I can't hang with anymore,
No, that's fair. That's completely fair. And I mean, much like heavy metal or any genre of music, there are exceptions to the rule. It's not all slow stuff. Like most stuff you hear on the radio, country-wise nowadays, is all like pop country. Like it's meant to be generic but catchy, so it people will play it at house parties, whatever.
Yeah,
But
so it can make the most money in advertisements.
But there is like outlaw style of country that's like really, it like sounds like older, really fast paced. I mean, it's hard to, I haven't really delved deep into it, but I know people that are like into it, and there are people that have, told me that, like music, like the shit you hear on the radio sucks. It's
For
some
sure,
country singer, and then he also has some rapper that comes on because they get paid hella money when they do that.
Yeah.
Especially if it's catchy and whatever.
Mm-hmm. And if it has some sort, like I was saying with advertisement, how many country artists are taking money on the side from like Chevy or Ford?
Oh man,
Especially Ford,
it's like
Ford, because I'm built Ford tough.
Yeah, how many countries? What's the ratio of country songs to like Ford commercials?
Yeah.
I really want to know. I mean, that would be a very interesting. I would like to see the market research on that. Just we play this specific song and play it with and we have it would it would be the thing. They play this like the really super patriotized Americans, whatever. I love America so much, and it would be like an army guy coming home, and the first thing he does is buy a Ford F-150 like extended cab, and then he goes home to his like wife and kid and gives his he has like a son and daughter. He gives the son a hug. The son's slightly older, of course, and like he puts the son in the driver's seat, and there's like a whole wholesome moment. It's like at
Golden Retriever Ford pops up in the back seat.
Yeah, they have a dog, of course.
Yeah, they open up the glove box and he pulls out like a what's it called? A concealed carry case, and there's like this, brand new Glock that's gold, but then there's a little card that says "Welcome home, soldier." And then
his wife just gives him that like knowing smile.
Yeah.
And then just
what was that?
It was a Ford commercial.
Is that a music
video?
video?
It's good.
Oh, okay.
It's a Ford commercial. It's my idea it's my vision for a Ford commercial. People eat that shit up. They love that. They love that shit.
It's beautiful. That's a homegrown American, beautiful, beautiful dream to aspire to, I think. I forgot what spurned that on.
We were talking about music. We got on to country.
Yeah, country. I try not to hate on country. Like, for sure it has its merits. It's just not my cup of tea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It
doesn't need to be.
Yeah, right? There's enough music to go around.
Sure. There's plenty. Nowadays, especially, you got like 50 different streaming services where you can get anything you want.
Yes.
If you're not going to pirate, of course.
Right. Which, that's like impossible to do nowadays, right? Without being like caught. I guess if you had a VPN, you can.
Yeah, but VPN probably the safest way, but like seeding and stuff like that. It depends on the ISP, but a lot of them will go after you for it. At the most, they'll just be like, hey, we don't want you as a customer. And then with as hard as it is to find a good like ISP in your area, if you get, that's kind of the risk.
Or if it's the only one in the area.
Yeah, then you're really fucked.
Yeah.
Like where I live, I only have two options, and one is like objectively worse by a lot. So I went with a better one, of course. But if they were like, hey, no, we don't want, your contract, you've voided your contract or whatever, fuck you. We don't have to take you as a customer. I'd be stuck with the other one, who sucks.
Yes, isn't that a classic Sophie's Choice?
Yeah.
I don't know what a Sophie's Choice is.
Did you just make that up?
No, I think that's the name of a book.
Oh.
Or something. Sophie's Choice. Maybe it was drama after school drama thing.
Oh, okay. Oh, I don't know. Went over
why.
my head. I don't know that reference.
I don't either. It's just something I've heard, and it had the word choice in it, and I thought that sounded silly. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. We're here again, talking about music like always. The best music podcast out there.
Music aficionados, as we call ourselves, to each other.
Yes.
I mean, we make sure to refer to each other exactly as that.
Every morning, after I wake up, sing the national anthem to myself, and then I shoot Skylar a text that says, "Good morning, my fellow aficionado of music."
Right. And that's about the time I'm waking up. I haven't said the pledge yet, like I always do, facing my flag that I have hanging up in my room as is state mandated. But after I do that, I make sure to send Elliot a text saying, "Good morning, my fellow music aficionado."
Yeah, and then we curate a playlist for each other and send it over while we have coffee, and then we compare coffee, and
it's a new playlist every day. It's exhausting, but
it really is. It's almost too much, but I endure it because that's what it means to be a music aficionado.
It is. It really is. You suffer for your work, honestly. You really do.
It's just what you do. It's just what you do.
But yeah, as far as music goes, just, I've always been in like you. I've always been into faster stuff. I think it might be why I really like some jazz, but don't like other jazz. I mean, jazz is also a very broad range. I remember I worked at a gas station many years ago, and I always put NPR on at night, and they would all they did at night was play jazz. So I got exposed to a lot of it. I don't remember. I mean, they would always introduce stuff, but I don't remember any of it. But I always like the faster paced jazz than slower paced, I would say.
Yeah. The cocaine jazz versus the heroin jazz. Was heroin jazz a thing?
I'm sure. I mean,
Probably.
Acid
jazz was a thing. I know that is at least a category of genre of music in iTunes.
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
At least it was. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I like to assume it's people on acid while they play jazz.
I think I appreciate it so much because there's a lot of people that, there will be a song and it'll go on for 20 plus minutes or whatever in jazz music. And people don't really like that. They don't like going on an odyssey, a musical odyssey, as we call it in the industry.
Yes, that is the official term, I believe.
It is. It's what you'll be taught in school, so that's what we use also.
Music aficionado class.
Music aficionado. Yeah.
Tuesdays and Thursdays in the high school gymnasium right after AA, so it's pretty convenient.
It's very convenient.
Wink, wink.
Don't know where I'd be without those AA meetings, man. But I also need MA meetings, some music aficionado time. It's AA then MA.
AA, MA, all day.
All day. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 to
Tuesdays and
about 5 o'clock p.m. Sometimes, if Stacy's in a good mood.
Yeah, we'll get out early every now and then. Yeah.
Not going to dock Stacy on the podcast. She's a lovely woman. She does her best. Thank you, Stacy.
Thank you, Stacy. Shout out to Stacy, everybody. Give her a round of applause if you see her on the streets.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, happy late Mardi Gras. I didn't realize this week that Mardi Gras happened. And that used to be kind of like a big deal when I was growing up in Louisiana. Because it's like a super big Catholic holiday. Well, okay, I didn't see Mardi Gras on the calendar. I saw Ash Wednesday, and I was like, "What?" I didn't hear anything about this up here. But it's like a big deal. It was a big deal, and I moved out of Louisiana before I was old enough to like enjoy a real Mardi Gras in New Orleans or anything. You know,
Yeah.
kind of sucks. Kind of lame.
That does.
Yeah.
I know I saw a lot of stuff online this year that was like, if you go to Mardi Gras, just stay on Bourbon Street. Don't go into any of the side streets or anything. I'm sure it's been that way for a while, but there was a lot of talk that crime was like really high, due to COVID or due to quarantine being over, so everybody's getting out now, and like, yeah,
It was probably going to be wildin'. Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Tons of tourists, tons of people out of town don't know where they are. Easy marks.
Yeah, and they go there specifically to get blackout fucking drunk
and spend a lot of money.
Fucking yeah.
That's another big thing with it. So
it's a very interesting holiday. I dig the idea of it because it's like get out all your sinning right before Lent. Because you have to like give something up for Jesus during Lent or God or Mary or something. I don't know. I'm not Catholic.
You have to give something up for the duration for whatever reason. So some people it's like, well, I'll give up smoking. I'll give up drinking. I'll give up. Well, I mean, a good Catholic probably doesn't do either of those things except maybe drink.
Yeah.
I know drinking's pretty well, that's prevalent anywhere, but
yeah,
I mean, they literally drink wine for their communion.
Exactly.
Have you ever been in in a Catholic sermon before?
I've been to one or two. One of my aunts or great aunts or cousins' aunts or somebody in my family is Catholic, which is weird. So we've been once. Yeah, I was really young. I didn't know what was going on, and I was just bored out of my fucking skull the entire time. Like,
yeah,
the entire time. It was just miserable.
It is. I've been to. I've been to more when I was younger, but I don't know. The two in my mind that I remember is I went to a wedding once, and it was a Catholic wedding, and apparently they have the option to choose whether they want to do mass in the middle of it. So it either goes from like
in the middle of the wedding?
Yeah, so like the marriage rites, it takes like 45 minutes, but if you do mass, like some people would do mass between
God.
Yeah, and so it's like it turns a 45-minute thing into a 3-hour thing.
Oh, dude. Weddings take so long as it is.
Yeah.
Are you kidding
So you do mass in the middle of it. So you have your wedding on Sunday or whatever, and yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
I mean, that was probably
man.
I don't know if that was worse than the other. The other one I went to, it was like I stayed with my friend for a weekend, and he was Catholic. I've never really followed religion all that much, so I didn't know it was like Palm Sunday. And they have a whole big thing for it, because like the night before we went and watched a play that was like Passion of the Christ, basically. Mm-hmm. And then the day after that we went to church at 6 a.m. And I didn't know. I mean, I was like 13, 14 at the time. I didn't know that I could not take I could opt out to not take communion.
Oh,
which
yeah.
that's getting the cracker put on your tongue, and then you take a sip of wine. The body and the whatever blood of Christ.
The blood, baby.
And apparently you're not supposed to if you aren't Catholic.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah. And I mean, I did the whole thing. I took communion, and I went outside, and I waved the little palm leaves around, and...
Bro, you're telling me you drank Jesus's blood?
I did. I took his body in my mouth.
Catholic?
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
You can't.
I even splashed the holy water on my face when I was going in, like the old people were doing. I was like, oh, that's cool. I want to be part of that.
You're like, what is this, aftershave? Like, what?
Yeah, I just wanted to see what holy water would do to me. Like, would it burn my skin? Since I was an atheist. I was a devout atheist. I was 13, 14, just did not believe in God, but they like dragged me to church, and I was like, I know I asked, I was like, can I just stay here? And she was like, oh no, it'll be fine. And it just, oh God, having to like I'd never been to one before. So it was like every time like people, so you have to stand up and then you have to kneel on the thing sometimes. And then you have to sit down. You have to sing every damn song they sing. And it takes forever. And then everybody has to do communion. So it takes even long. I mean, it was, yeah. I'm not dogging people for doing it. It's just like, wow. Like, can you imagine? Like, doing that every Sunday would just be exhausting. I didn't even go and confess my sins. Like, that was something I skipped. I wish I'd done it just for the experience.
I see. You'll drink Jesus's blood, but you won't tell. I
was absolved. I mean, I guess up to that point, I was absolved of everything that I did. Out of wedlock, childbirth. I mean, everything.
Nice. That's good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Or like maybe the Catholics are just looking for you now because they're like, we know what you did. We know, we know you ate Jesus's body, and you weren't even Catholic, bro. Come on.
Well, I guess
I'm glad you have some basic, or at least some background in Catholicism too, because I spent like 8 years in Louisiana and just did shit that was super Catholic, but I didn't know about it until after I left, that it was like, oh, that's like but their religion, at least at the time, was really, it was heavily intertwined. It was a very red state, so it's heavy intertwined.
I mean, aren't your counties called parishes or something?
Yeah, they're called parishes, which is another term for like a congregation of worshipers.
Yes.
Yeah. The whole like no eating or fish Fridays were like a big deal, where during Lent every Friday you like couldn't eat red meat, or it was a sin for some reason. I don't know why to this day, but we always had fish at lunch on Fridays.
Yeah, we did here too in Kansas. At least it was an option. Did you not have a choice?
Not for a while. We didn't have a choice.
You had to have fish on Friday. I was going to say, we always had a choice here in Kansas.
This is the school lunch.
Yes,
and
school lunch.
You eat the school lunch or you bring your own.
Yes.
And that was your choice. Yeah. A lot of the time, too, it was fish sticks, and fish sticks are fucking disgusting.
Yeah,
dude.
not
I've
good.
never liked fish sticks.
No.
The ones we had, they were like the big, like meaty fish fingers, you know what I mean? They weren't more breaded. A lot of, if you buy some cheap fish sticks, they're more breading than fish. Like, it actually had to have the meat paste that it was made of, the fish paste, because I ate them, and I was starting to eat one, and my friend in front of me was like, "You're eating those? That's gross." And I was like, "Why is that gross?" And he like pushed his tray forward and like dissected one of the fish sticks in front of me, and it all poured out, but it was like, it wasn't just, like white meat fish. It was like there were chunks that looked like fins and chunks that looked like pieces of gill, and very, like fish innards. Like, I knew for sure it wasn't
like hot dogs.
Yeah, it was like hot dog meat, but fish.
Ugh, that's gross.
Yeah. Ever since that day, I've been like, fish sticks, no thank you. Like, if I'm gonna eat fish, it's got to be like a fillet, like a piece of actual fish.
Yeah.
Not fish paste, no. Man. Oh God.
I'm with you there. I've never really been I've started kind of getting into fish here lately. There's actually this the other day I went and ate at this soul food place. Really good. I had tilapia and red beans and rice with a side of macaroni.
Oh,
very good. Very, very good. I mean, I've never had like
rice.
Yeah. I've never had like actual homemade Louisiana style, but apparently the chick that works there is from Louisiana. So
nice.
I have to think it's authentic. I mean, it was very good. The tilapia that I got. I almost got the shrimp etouffee, but I wasn't really feeling a
man.
stew, you know.
Etouffee is so good.
Yeah,
Fuck.
I almost asked you for your opinion, but like I was already there. I was like, okay.
Like, I'm gonna stop whatever the fuck I'm doing to tell you.
Yeah. I mean, you would know more about it than I did. So I was like close
Probably
to
a
getting
little
shrimp
bit.
etouffee, but I just Googled it real quick and it was like, oh, it's a stew. I'm not really
Yeah,
feeling a
it's-
stew.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently you can get like a whole shrimp boil, or not a shrimp boil, fish boil? Is that what it's called?
Like a crawfish boil.
Yeah, well, yeah, you can get that too, but you could also get like a whole bunch of
you
seafood
could get a fish boil. Yeah.
and just all boiled and do a thing. So I might do that. I don't know. I just had some, and the vibes were really good there too. It was just a nice experience.
Nice. Shout out to the soul food place that Skyler went to.
Yes, shout out to them.
Yeah, we
And
can't blow up
and
their spot because they'll
large
get
woman
too
that was like,
popular.
"Hey, baby," when I walked in, she was awesome. She rocked.
Nice. Shout out to her.
Probably Nanny. I think that's what she goes by.
Oh, what's up, Nanny? That's cool. That's. We got off on fish. What was
Yeah, I
I
know. That was a real long
talking about?
tangent.
Yeah. Oh, because Lent.
Yeah, Lent and Catholicism and
Yeah, 40 Days and 40 Nights, man. That movie. That was about Lent. But it was about not busting a nut for 40 days and 40 nights. And that.
I forgot about that movie till you brought it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a good fucking movie, dude. I love that movie. I've seen it on reruns on Comedy Central like 5 times.
It's like the opposite of Passion of the Christ.
It.
If you want something to compare it to. It's like the
Yeah,
Passion of the Christ,
like
but
the-
not like uncomfortable to watch.
No, I was gonna say it's like the NoFap movie, but
Yeah.
it's like the opposite of that because NoFap apparently gives you powers, and I mean the dude in this movie was just going through a rough time. Like he was not getting superpowers. It was
No.
it was bad. It was bad. They should make a NoFap movie or just a remake of 40 Days and 40 Nights, but it's just he just gets better and better after every week, according to the NoFap philosophy, and like he just becomes a god.
6-pack abs, just fucking chiseled as fuck. Goes from like nothing to just ripped just from that.
Yeah, yeah, just from that, like he's just every other shot of him is just his normal morning routine of like brushing his teeth and having a cup of coffee and going to work, and yeah, it's not like he's working out more or anything.
No. That's all it takes, guys. Just stop
That's all
jerking
it
it. It's really all it takes.
Yeah, that's what they say. I can't attest to it myself, but
God
Whatever,
wouldn't want you
it's-
to spill your seed on,
You're right.
you know, without reason. And no, that reason isn't from that, you know, that hot chick you saw at the supermarket. It's not a good reason.
no. And the reason is not who bestanks. The reason, that's not a good reason to spill your seed either.
No,
No.
it isn't.
It's a beautiful song, but it's not.
It is. What a terrible name for a band. I mean, it's
Who
just
bestank?
awful. But I mean, it's memorable, so it worked. But it's like, dude, where'd that come from? I'm sure
Yeah.
it came from somewhere, but Hoobastank, really?
Yeah, I wonder what the story is behind the name. Like,
Yeah.
were they thinking, what's the most off-putting but yet memorable name that we can come up with?
Yeah, it's definitely not like Limp Bizkit, which is, just a masterpiece of a name.
Perfect, memorable, not cringy at all.
Gets its point across. You know what you're getting when you listen to Limp Bizkit.
That's right. And people forget Limp Bizkit is spelled with a Z.
It is.
It's Limp Bizkit. And people seem to forget about that.
Right. It's kind of like it's 50 Cent, not 50.
Yeah. Is it
I mean, it
Wait,
is
is it
50, but it's 50. Come on.
But it's 50? Yeah. Yeah, you're not going to be like, oh, I was listening to 50 Cent last night. And let me tell you, pal.
That
some
song,
of
Into
those
Club,
lyrics-
wow. Amazing.
Let me tell you, folks. Fantastic.
I was surprised, not surprised, that he showed up in the Super Bowl halftime show. That had
Dude,
to
I
suck.
watched nothing of the Super Bowl this year.
Oh, really? I just saw the halftime show.
Yeah. I didn't even watch that. I watched zilcho of it.
Yeah, I mean, it
Was it good?
It was pretty good. It was Jay-Z, Snoop Dogg, Eminem.
What?
There were some other people that I didn't know, but yeah, Eminem was up there for a while.
Huh.
And
Snoop
and 50
Dogg on
Cent.
the half. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I learned later that they don't get sponsored for it. Apparently, it just all came out of whatever Jay-Z, yeah, came out of his pocket. I think it's Jay-Z. I might be wrong.
What? He paid them to perform at the Super Bowl?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Apparently, that's just how it works. Is you pay them.
That seems backwards. Shouldn't the Super Bowl pay the artists who are providing the entertainment during the halftime show?
I mean, I think they do get a sponsorship from whatever company, because I think it was Pepsi this year that sponsored it. So maybe they get some kind of revenue from that. But I don't know. It sounded like he had to pay, basically, for it. And everybody always does.
That's so weird. Okay.
I could be wrong on this. I don't know. But
Huh.
it definitely didn't work the way
whatever-
I thought it did. It's kind of
Yeah,
like
that
buying,
sounds totally fucking
it's like
backwards.
buying a ad space just for the show itself. The Super Bowl's always been known for its really high quality ads that it has that sometimes have a story that goes year to year or are just interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's kind of like that, and you're gonna pay
I guess
$1 million
that
for a
seems-
15-second ad.
Yeah. For some fucking advertisements.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Huh. I didn't know it worked like that. That's interesting. I guess
is.
whatever it takes to get more Mountain Dew flavors back on the shelves, I'm all for it. I've been finding Live Wire in my local gas station recently.
Nice.
That is super exciting. I fucking love Live Wire.
That's the white one, isn't it? Or is
That's
it the
the
orange
orange
one?
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So good.
White one's
Oof.
Voltage. I like
Yeah,
Voltage.
or
Code Red's
the
good. That
blue,
one's a staple.
The blue raspberry is Voltage.
Is it? What's the white one
Yeah.
then? What's that one?
White out,
White Out. That sounds
white
right.
cherry, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then a good old Code Red. You can't. This is the Mountain Dew Appreciation Podcast.
Yeah.
everyone.
Please sponsor us. I believe that's Pepsi Cola of America. Please.
PepsiCo. Shout out to PepsiCo, specifically the Mountain Dew brand. Wait, throw some hoodies our direction. You know what
And
I
they
mean?
always have sale. It's always been whatever, $2.22 for two. They never take. I mean, if you have a contract with them, they never take them off sale. The sale price might go up, but they're always two for something.
Man, that's because they that's buku bucks for them still, even though it's cheap.
Oh, that shit's
Like
cheap.
the
to produce,
turnaround,
I'm sure.
I'm sure is
It's
I'm not disparaging their name any. Please sponsor us, Mountain Dew. I love you.
I always ask for
saying?
Pepsi in a restaurant. Always. Is Pepsi
you're
okay? You're
serving Coke?
goddamn
I'm
right it
leaving.
is. It better be okay.
I specifically ask for Pepsi free, and they say we haven't had that since 1987. And I say, well, you don't have me as a customer anymore.
What?
And they
No
say,
Crystal
please don't
Pepsi?
leave. We we need the business that you bring in with your podcast. Please don't leave. And then I say, okay, I guess I'll eat at your 3-star steakhouse.
And then you only order a Pepsi. Get the seating and everything. You're like, I'm not really hungry. I just kind of want a Pepsi. Or a Mountain Dew. Or a... I don't know what else they do. I mean, they do a lot of different
the other
stuff.
One, Sierra Mist.
Sierra Mist, yeah.
Yeah,
Is that? Yeah, maybe.
I think.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head. I'm sure they have an energy drink too.
Oh yeah, they're behind most of. I don't know if Rockstar is backed by Coke or Pepsi, but it's one of the
I think
ones.
Full Throttle is Coke.
Full Throttle is Coke, yeah.
Monster, I think, is Pepsi.
Monster's Pepsi now.
I think so.
That makes sense.
So they have the objectively most popular, besides Red Bull, but Red Bull is different.
Mm-hmm.
You pay a lot more for Red Bull.
Yes, you do, for a smaller can, and you love it. I like some Red Bull, so I don't...
Oh, sure.
It's all right. I'll take a Red Bull over a Monster. I'll say that.
If I'm going to have any energy drink with my vodka, it would be Red Bull.
I don't always drink energy drinks, but when I do, it's when I'm drinking vodka. And sometimes it's not even when I drink energy drinks.
Sometimes it's just when I drink vodka.
It's just vodka. I just drink vodka, is what I'm saying.
It's clear, so I mean, it looks like water. That's, that should be good enough.
That's good enough in my book. This is the part of the episode where I remind everybody we have AA meetings Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Love you, Stacy.
Right before Music Aficionado Club.
It's hard to believe Stacy is a recovering alcoholic, but also has a doctorate in music aficionadoism. It's amazing.
It is amazing. It's definitely more than I've ever achieved. I wasn't even that good of an alcoholic when I was an alcoholic. I was half-assed,
Yeah.
Like, I didn't brush my teeth with Jack. And that's step number, 3.
It is. I mean... right after bloody urine, I think, is when that step comes in.
Yeah. Step 1 is replace all of your water with alcohol. Step 2 is...
bloody urine.
Step
3 is brushing your teeth with Jack Daniels.
Brushing your teeth with Jack Daniels.
But that's just a euphemism for chugging down fucking mouthwash.
I took that shit literally, all right? You brush your teeth with Jack Daniels.
It's all Jack to me, baby.
And that's why I haven't been to the dentist in a few years, because I'm embarrassed at my teeth brushing habits that I've had for a very long time now.
I mean, you wouldn't want the dentist or the dent tech to smell the alcohol on your breath, because then they wouldn't give you pain pills.
I think that's true.
But if you go in smelling like mouthwash, they'll think you just brushed. But nah, it's like, no, I'm fucking lit off some great mouthwash, bro.
That's right.
And that's why I haven't been to the dentist in many years, because I
because you're addicted to drinking mouthwash.
Drink it every day, all day, every day. Go to the old Dollar General and buy those pints. Drink one of those a night. My breath always smells
that's like
great.
$1.79.
It is.
That's
cheaper
nothing.
Than most alcohol. Mm-hmm. Cheaper than any other pint you're going to get at the gas station or liquor store. Or both, depending on where you live.
Just a reminder, everybody. Tuesdays, Thursday nights. We're cooking up some good things. So swing on by. Don't be triggered too much by what we say on this podcast.
No, don't. Yeah. If you need help, get help. Tuesdays and Thursdays. They don't really push religion too much, but, you know, it's there. It's there, obviously.
But it's there. It's, yeah.
They got their whole 12-step program.
Mm-hmm.
But she's real cool about it, you know.
She's cool. Love you, Stacy.
Love you,
Shout out
Stacy.
to Stacy.
Thank you, Stacy.
Bless up.
See you
Know what I'm
Tuesday. We know you listen.
Yeah. Wow. Man, so we haven't even talked about video games yet. Have we?
No. I don't think so.
No. We haven't. Triangle Strategy came out this last I don't know, a couple days ago. And it's pretty fantastic. I dig it. We were talking about it a little bit before the podcast.
Have they said at all in the game like this is some kind of triangle strategy?
No, not yet. But I hope so. I hope that's like the final battle or one of the big battles of it is, you know, triangle strat, and then the characters will yell out things on the battlefield.
Oh, okay. It's like their ultimate move, like their desperation move is the triangle strategy.
Triangle strat. Yeah. And then that's when like an MMA guy jumps in and he like rear naked chokes the dude, your enemy. Chokes him out, puts him in a triangle. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know the difference between those two things. So
sure.
But I'm learning, and that's what Project Triangle's... Not Project Triangle. I keep saying
I mean, that's what it was
Project.
Called.
Yeah.
Because it was like... That was like you thought that, like, much like Octopath Traveler, it was Project Octopath Traveler. And they're like, oh, we'll just use that as the name. Fuck it. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah. I felt real special getting to play the super early demo, but I'm sure, like, thousands and hundreds of thousands of people have played it, so I'm not that special. But it's, like, the title is cemented in my brain as that, which is weird. But regular Triangle Strategy, really, I enjoy it. It's like a mix of Octopath and Fire Emblem, with a good third of the game being cutscenes of social interactions and like politics and stuff. It's sort of Square Enix's take on Game of Thrones in an anime strategy game. Yeah,
that makes sense. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's not one that, like, if you're super about action, fast-paced combat all the time, it's not for you. But if you're into like the turn-based strategy parts of the game, are fucking fantastic. They're like legitimately challenging. One of my concerns, I guess, with like Fire Emblem was, and I mean, I played it on the easier difficulties because I fucking suck, but I even when I played through 3 houses on normal, and after like 2 battles, your characters turn essentially invincible, or they're like hella powerful compared to your enemies. But
I think that is a complaint I heard,
strategies
is that you become really overpowered in Fire Emblem, and it makes, at least, I mean, probably on normal, the last Fire Emblem I played was Awakening.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Awakening was dope. Tharja is my number 1 waifu, I think.
It's been a long time since I played. I bought that when I like first moved back to where I am now.
Nice.
Just because all I had was like my 3DS and my Wii U, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I can catch up on some stuff I missed out on.
Mm-hmm. And you could either play Zombie U or Fire Emblem Awakening.
Yeah.
And you had already beaten Zombie U 5 times over.
Oh,
so.
Yeah, I love that. Actually, that game's multiplayer, I remember, was really fun.
Was it?
Yeah, we played it. We played it with Dakota a lot.
Oh shit.
It was like one person, or at least I played it with him a lot. Like one person was like the game master and used the tablet and put zombie spawns, and then another person was playing on screen. It was some
Okay,
asymmetric
okay.
gameplay. Yeah.
Okay.
And so, like, your job with the guys with the tablet would be to try to fuck over the because I think it was capture the flag, kind of. But you could put enemy spawns and spawn like special enemies, upgrade it. It was really fun.
Huh.
I remember it being pretty fun.
Nice.
But
Sorry
yeah.
to derail whatever you were saying to talk about Zombie U.
Oh no, that's okay. I mean, we're talking about triangle strategy. So would you say it's more strategy or more triangle?
That is a tough question. Wow, put me on the spot. No, it's probably more strategy.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, grand scheme of things, it's more triangle because the triangle of triangle strategy is like the three pillars of the gameplay, which is cutscenes of story and dialogue choices, and then talking to people, or not really. I mean, kind of exploring the battleground that you're going to be on before, and then the battle on that area.
Okay.
And then it just kind of repeats like that. There's a battle, then there's some crazy story event. One of this house or this country is starting to do some shit with the salt or to do some shit with the iron, and I think they're setting it up for multiple playthroughs too, because the first like major decision that I ran into was like you can go to the country in the north or the country in the east, and as like an envoy of the king or whatever, and you have to like talk to your party members about which way they want to go and decide for yourself. And then when you decide for yourself, you have to persuade the people who would be going against you to vote for you. And I think it's a cool element. It's very much what people complained about with Octopath, where you didn't have party interaction at all. Like, there's sections in this game that are 100% party interaction that you have to talk to your party members, and they all have like fleshed out backstories and what houses they're sworn to and why they're doing what they're doing. It's pretty sweet, I think. I'm digging it.
Yeah, it sounds a lot. That was my chief complaint with Octopath was, you had all these different characters that all have their different motivations for doing what they do, but they don't have any real motivation for partying up. Like,
Yeah.
zero
Yeah, it
motivation.
was like they were
it's
all...
like you show up to town, it's like, oh, I'm going to join you just because. But you got to play my backstory first, and it can either be 30 minutes or it's going to be 2 hours long. There were some that were more fleshed out than I mean, not 2 hours. I think the most was like an hour or so. They were all pretty quick and easy. It depends if you like go and talk to everybody in town and whatever. Which I do all the time. I love that. Like, shit. That was something I really loved about Dragon Quest was every time any like major event happened, you can go back to towns and people would have different things to say. Like, there was a ton of dialogue for that game. It was pretty crazy. Like, they would all have it would be like a one-off thing, but it would always change every time a major event happened. And I think that's been, it was the same. I've only played 2 Dragon Quests. I played 8 and the newest one, 11. And it was like that in 8, so I have to kind of assume, and it was like that in 11 too, so I have to assume they've been doing that for a while. Or like every major event everybody would have something different to say or whatever about the world changing. Really pulls you into a game when it's minor, but when NPCs react and don't just say the same generic shit, 30, 40 hours into the game after some stuff has happened, it helps.
Yeah, it makes you feel like you're making a difference.
That there's something happening in the world. Yeah. Good or bad.
For sure. Yeah. It's pretty cool. I I think I'm only like 9 hours into it or something like that.
Oh,
so
man.
there's a lot. There's a lot that has gone on, but there's a lot to continue. There's just a lot of shit I still have to do, and
Yeah.
I just hit a chapter that I think it's gonna go into a battle, but there's like 4 side stories of, because there was a huge major event that went on in like the capital, and then you have to get the reactions of like, oh, the lord of this house in the kingdom has to figure out what he does when he finds out, and then whoever runs the kingdom in the east finds out and what they do, and it's
Oh, wow. It's a very intricate
complicated
story.
Yeah. So I hope it pans out. I hope that all the build up and world building that it's doing has some sort of satisfying conclusion, because if it kind of just peters out, I'm gonna be meh. But
Yeah, all that build
so
up
far
for
I'm
nothing.
enjoying it.
That would suck.
Yeah, that would be awful. I mean, who would ever do that in their games or TV series or movies? Or rough.
Just make a cohesive story, people. Just have it all wrap up nice and neat. Unless you're planning on making a sequel, but at least make it worth it to pursue it.
Yeah, don't cut off the ending of
Don't waste my time.
Story if you really wanted to set up a sequel, like make sure it stands on its own before deciding a sequel is worthy to continue the story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I guess good
It's just my
segue into like why FromSoft's games are so good is because they aren't connected. I mean, they are, but loosely, very loosely. I mean, I only say this because I've been playing Elden Ring nonstop since it came out, pretty much. I mean, almost all of my waking hour, well, besides work, of course, but when I'm at home, it's like, man, I'm going to play some Elden Ring. And, that like they always have a cohesive story from beginning to end. It's not shoved in your face. They don't shove it right in your face. It's a completely different way from how I assume Triangle Strategy is, where they just give you a ton of, context just right off the bat, or, before everything, as opposed to how From does things, where it's the nuances and items you pick up, or little, how Bethesda handles it as well, as they make little stories just out of set pieces. Something I always really enjoy about those games.
Yes, it is probably like the exact opposite of Triangle Strategy in terms of narrative format.
Yes.
Where in a FromSoft game, you wake up in some sort of typically dilapidated area, and it's like, hey, here's your objective. Have fun, don't die, but you're probably gonna die. Also, you're gonna die.
And the first boss is like meant to kill you immediately.
Oh,
that's always a state, unless you're like good, I guess. But even then, it's still tough to do. But it's
you have to be super good, and there's usually some sort of differences in mechanics that take some time to learn. So
they're all pretty similar. I mean, I've played all of them except for Bloodborne and the newest Demon Souls, but I did play the OG Demon Souls. Not even most of it. Probably like half. I got halfway through. I did like maybe 2 or 3 of the Archstones all the way through, and then I hit a wall and I just never picked it up again.
Damn. You got further than I did. I think I got halfway through the first area.
Yeah, after that, the fucking place after the phalanx.
There was like a spider boss.
Oh yeah, that one. That fucking sucked.
I think I killed the spider boss, and then
there's like one after that's like I don't know if it's a dragon or something, but it's like in this huge area, and the only way I beat it was no, there's like another guy after that. He's like one of the first guys that's your size that you fight. And I remember I had to I got lucky and I could summon somebody and they helped me beat him.
Oh, nice.
This was on the PS3 OG Demon Souls, and many years after it released, so it wasn't like Elden Ring now. I put my summon sign down, I get summoned in like 5 seconds,
Yeah, the online community is fresh and hot.
Yeah. And I think it will be for a while. It's a very big game. I feel like there's a lot of people that haven't played, any of the FromSoft PS3 and beyond generation games that are probably getting into it the first time. Like, I know a big meme right now is the very first boss is this guy called Margit the Defiled or something like that. And he is a wall to a lot of people. I see a lot of people being like, wow, I just fought this guy like 30 times. And
nice.
I can't, he's like the, what is it? I'm trying to think, Dark Souls 1. It was like the Taurus demon or whatever.
Yeah.
He was like one of the first walls I remember having. He's like that dude in that little space, and he has the wolves at the bottom that.
Yes, and he has like a fire blade too.
Yes.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
So he's kind of the
Took me a long
equivalent
time
to
to beat him.
Just very hard. They've taken a lot out of all the other FromSoft games, I would say.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like there's something from every game, even Sekiro. I feel like the horse controls a lot like Sekiro does. It's just really fast-paced combat.
Nice. Yeah, because mounted combat is a thing in this one, right?
Yes, it is. And it's
That's so
really
cool.
important.
Of course.
To get good at it. I didn't like it at first, but
it.
I've gotten used to it now. It's not bad. It really isn't bad at all.
Horses freak me out in the real world, so I've never been good with them in video games.
Not even Red Dead?
The Red Dead horses were okay.
I think that's the best use of horses in video games.
Red Dead 2 for sure.
I mean,
Red Dead 1 was a tiny bit janky still, and I remember I would play it and my dad would watch me and he would just laugh at how bad I was like driving a horse, and I was like, Dad, I don't know how to drive a car in real life. I've never ridden a horse. I'm doing my best here. John he's rusty.
Very. I mean, yeah, the horse mechanics in that game were pretty bare bones compared to Red Dead 2. I've heard Last of Us 2's horse mechanic was pretty good too, but I think Red Dead 2 was like, I mean, that was how you got around, so it had to be good.
Yeah, it was really good. Witcher 3 horse mechanics were really solid too.
Yeah, they were for what they were. They were more
for what they were.
They were arcadey, I would say. It didn't really lend itself to the real. Roach could like later in the game, once you get better saddles, he would like go from 0 to 100 in like a second. It was just kind of ridiculous. But no,
that's just Witcher magic for you, man.
Yeah. I did like. I mean, there was a lot of cool details in that game. Like you could use Aird to calm him down, or Axie.
Yeah,
it was Axie. Yeah, you'd use Axie and calm him down.
You could use Aird to calm him down.
Yeah, just blow his brains out. Just fucking break his neck.
That'll get the job done.
Yeah, wouldn't be scared anymore. He wouldn't be scared ever again.
Horse death. That's what we advocate here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
I've heard horse meat is actually really tasty. I want to try it.
That's what I've heard. Do you think it'd be like gamey because they're all muscle?
Mm-hmm. Probably just a super lean meat. Yeah.
Yeah, not gamey. Yeah, lean would be the better word.
Yeah.
Gamey would be like deer.
I was gonna say, or like zebra.
Yeah.
Zebra would be like a gamey horse meat.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, if they're
I want
wild.
to try zebra. I wanna eat a hippo steak.
I
want to try some exotic meats, man.
Yeah.
They sound so good. It's eating what the lions eat.
Yeah, I think the most exotic I've had is probably buffalo.
Yeah, I love some buffalo
steaks. Oh man, those are delicious. Man. Or a buffalo burger. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would want to go be a hunter person and like hunt my own meat if I had a backbone.
Can you imagine what like mammoth tastes like? Like a mammoth steak.
Dude, I bet it's so good.
Oh man, I'm jealous.
Dude.
Won't ever be able to have mammoth steak in my life.
Oh, man.
I bet that shit's thick, too. Like, thick
Bet
cut.
it's so good. Mammoths are big, too,
they're
man,
huge.
and they store up a lot of mass. I bet they're nice and marbleized.
Oh, yeah. Like a lot of fat, but not too much fat.
Just the right amount of chunk to be fucking delicious.
No wonder they went extinct.
It wasn't the Ice Age. They just got fucking
ate up
to extinction because they was so tasty. So tasty. Let's insert Monster Hunter. So tasty.
Oh, yeah. Sunbreak's coming out soon. I'm pretty excited.
Oh, is it?
Summer.
Man. Fuck.
It's just the time.
I haven't looked at... Have they released any details about it? Because I haven't been following.
I mean, other than that, it's that chick who runs the ship. It's her homeland you're going to, which they were kind of hinting at that throughout the whole game. If you go and talk to her,
yeah,
she talks
she's
about
like,
her homeland.
my haircut looks stupid, but my homeland is cool.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, all right.
So it's going to be set where she lives. And it'll be the
okay.
whole G rank area. No, there hasn't been a whole lot of info on it, except Sanitar's back.
Ooh, okay.
I'm hoping Shogun Sanitar comes back too. It'll probably be whatever, Apex, or what do they call them in Rise? Not Deviant.
I think they just went with Apex with them.
Yeah, that's
because
right.
they folded in the instead of Deviants now and Apex and Hypers, they smushed them all into Apex. So it's they have the size and ferocity of an Apex monster, but some of them, they mostly have the, I don't know, I say mostly, but the handful of Apex monsters have a little bit of that deviant coloration to them.
Yeah, and they usually have like one or two different moves that they'll throw into their move set, and they do a shit ton of damage. It's probably the closest thing to G rank in terms of how good you can get your armor and how much damage they do. So I mean, it's gonna be good. I mean, I'm definitely gonna buy it for sure. I loved Rise. I mean, I put a ton of time into it.
Yeah, I went back and do some hunts every now and then when I don't have 1,000 other games that I could be playing.
Yeah. Yep. It's I think the Monster Hunter skills translate well to Dark Souls a lot. So if you have an interest in Monster Hunter, you'd probably like Dark Souls too.
Yeah, and vice versa. If you're a Dark Souls fan, you would probably enjoy some Monster Hunter.
Absolutely. I mean, it's all about those iframes and dodging through attacks, or depending on what weapon you use, parrying.
Yeah. Throw out an oddball out there if you're a oh god. I just had the title in my head, but now I forgot it. Never mind. Shit. God, Rage Burst. God something.
Nope.
God Eater.
God Eater.
God Eater. Those games.
Oh yeah.
They kind of took the Monster Hunter model. They're just they were a lot more anime. And I think there is an anime of it, so that's probably why. But I played a little bit of, I think I had God Eater 2. I have God Eater 2. I didn't play a ton of it because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. But it was kind of cool. It was pretty cool.
By the way, AA means Anime Anonymous.
That's right. 3 days sober off anime. If you don't count the triangle strategy art style.
We don't count video game. Video games and anime are different.
Games. They're different. You're right. I just rewatched Barakamon, which is fucking fantastic. Story about a famous calligraphy dude who loses his shit and punches an old man in the face, and so he gets shamed and he has to go live in the country for a bit to like learn his roots, sort of inspiration.
Huh.
It's really cool. Yeah, a lot of calligraphy shit that gets me going. So that's my anime recommendation for this episode.
Well, I will definitely have to check that one out.
Yeah.
I don't have
It's
any anime
good.
to recommend this episode. Watch Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
That's about all I can say. It's still not over yet, so the moratorium is not lifted. We cannot talk about Attack on Titan on this podcast yet.
That is correct.
I will
Not
say
yet,
my
but
hair
it's
is
coming.
long enough now that I can tie it in a little ponytail, and every time I do, I just keep saying we keep moving forward. Tatakai, Tatakai.
Tatakai. Which means fight.
Yep. Look
Fight.
myself in the mirror, and I'm like, Tatakai. That's how I get myself going every morning for work. My cup of coffee.
Say the Pledge of Allegiance. Stare in the mirror and put your hair in a little ponytail.
Text Elliot, good morning, my music aficionado.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You tie your hair in the ponytail, saying Tatakai as you're putting together a playlist for the day.
Yes.
For music aficionado. Yeah.
And that's every day. I don't skip a day.
It's good. It's good to have values and a rigorous schedule. It's good for your brain.
It is good for your brain. It's good for your heart. Good for your soul. Just something to consider.
I agree. And on that note, it looks like we've hit our quota on time that we're required by PepsiCo to reach every episode. So.
We get paid per minute. So every minute after an hour is overtime. And old PepsiCo doesn't like that. Old Joe PepsiCo.
Old Joe PepsiCo. You can't...
Can't defy his very rigorous and very thorough schedule that he has for us. We actually have 2 more podcasts after this that we can't name due to contractual obligation. You have to find us on your own.
Let's just say if you are a fan of the #1 podcast in the literary historical category, or you're a fan of the #3 podcast in politics, you might be a fan of the things that we do that we can't name here for legal reasons.
Yes.
That's all I'm going to say. It's not specific in any means, but
don't go looking us up. Don't go Googling any of those keywords that he put out. We'll know.
Don't rewind 15 seconds to make sure that you heard exactly the right keywords that I was saying.
Every time you click the play button on Spotify, we download ransomware to your computer. We're watching what you do. So don't do any of those things that he did, or I'm going to hold your computer hostage for $1 million in crypto. Probably Ethereum.
That'd be yeah. I was going to say the smarter option, but I don't know anything about crypto.
No, you want those shit coins if you're going to go into crypto. You want one that just started up yesterday and will probably withdraw. It's the best way to go about it is to go with the one that just started up because it, put everything you have into it.
Definitely safe.
It's absolutely safe. It's my guarantee to you.
Yeah. Anyway, we have to get out of here to go listen to the Limp Bizkit discography like we always do every night, so I'm out of here.
I am too. Have a good week, everybody. We'll see you next week on the Limp Bizkit podcast.
Yeah.